Oh, now it's going smoothly. Okay, hello everybody. I am going to be discussing Strategy 7, or engaging students in self-reflection and helping them keep track of their learning. This keeping track of learning allows students to celebrate moving forward in a positive direction. Let's just think about video games, for example. Mario Kart, it's all about an incremental game. So when you win a tournament, you get to unlock a new level until you finally unlocked all the characters and courses, and it's exciting. You can move forward. So we can build this motivational cycle into learning. And one of those ways is by having students keep a learning journal, which is a collection of thoughts about any aspect of learning. It can be insights, observations, strengths, areas of improvements, like or dislikes. And the first type of journal we have is a dialogue journal, which pretty much creates the opportunity for dialogue between teachers and students. And students can share their progress, any confusion, needs, and may describe things that they are learning in their journal. And the next is a learning log. They're just keeping a record of everything that they are doing in class. And this can be very useful for studying and how to go about making studying tips and habits. And teachers may check to make sure that students are on track using learning logs. And next we have a portfolio. We have our portfolios, which is another way to track learning. And the growth portfolio pretty much shows progress on one or more learning targets. And it shows growth over a period of time. And it keeps all artifacts to demonstrate the beginning, middle, and end achievement of growth. The next is the project portfolio, and this is just keeping track of the creation of a particular project. It allows students to look back over the life of the project and reflect on what they have learned and how they have grown by doing that particular project. And lastly is achievement portfolio, and that's a collection of just summative assessments to show the level of achievement towards each learning target, which students can then go back and reflect on and see what ways they have grown. But these portfolios are not necessarily meant to compare and create an atmosphere of competition, because that would be pretty detrimental to enhancing effort. The comparisons typically, should be a collaboration between student and teacher, just them two, and the teacher helps guide the student on what to incorporate in the portfolio, and the only comparison that should be made is to one's previous status. So reflecting on learning. Self-reflection, refers to a broader process of looking back over a collection of evidence. It allows students to make conclusions on what has or hasn't worked, or even what they might have done differently. And there are a bunch of different ways that we can reflect. We can reflect on growth. The students can reflect on their growth. They can compare what they used to know to what they now know. And first they acknowledge their growth in whatever it may be, and then describe the evidence that led them to this conclusion. So there's two parts there. And then when they're reflecting on a project, they're reflecting on those steps of the project. Again, what worked, what did not work for them. They can reflect on what the project caused them to think or to feel about that certain topic or subject. And then lastly, not lastly, but reflecting on achievement. They're looking at these artifacts that they pulled together in their portfolios, and students can identify what they have mastered and what they still need to focus on. They're going through a collection of work, may initiate thoughts about the process that led to the achievement. And lastly, they can reflect on self as a learner. So all of this reflection ultimately helps a student to draw conclusions on who they are as learners. It also helps educators to understand their learning habits and is useful in helping students set goals. So the ways we can implement reflecting, especially for older, maybe secondary students, is just having them write reflection papers describing how they have grown, and that gives them an outlet, first one, of course, to reflect and process through their learning journey. And we can see an example of this even in our personal internship PDS lives. We're working on our journals of professional growth. We're talking about, we're taking a snapshot, a video of where we have been, and then looking at where we end up. So we're looking at how we have grown as educators, what evolved. We're maybe possibly keeping a personal journal of being a new teacher and being in the classroom being in front of the classroom for the first time, and then, you know, you can look back and reflect and see where you kind of wobbled and where you were uncomfortable, and now kind of assume this new role as, you know, being comfortable in front of a classroom. So we can reflect on that. And I think that, you know, that helps us have a deeper understanding of ourselves, noticing how we change, but it also creates empowerment to see, you know, how we have grown as educators, which I think is really awesome.